And he drives one to left field. Canario back to the wall. And how about this? 3 home runs in the 5th off of Paul Skenes.
From MLB.com, this is the Morning Lineup Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Castrovins. Today is Friday, May 2nd. And if you give me about 10 minutes of your time, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about baseball today, including how the game's best offense fared against one of its best pitchers, and about the hot corner hero doing what no third baseman has ever done before. Let's get to it. Thursday brought us Pirates pitcher Paul Skenes' 30th career start, a significant milestone in that 30 starts is generally considered a full season for a starter. In the first 29 starts of that quote-unquote season, of course not counting him starting last year's All-Star game for the National League, Skenes generally rocked the baseball world with a 2.06 ERA and 209 strikeouts in 170 2/3 innings. And a lot of that rocking came against the Cubs, who Skenes faced in his MLB debut last May 11th, as well as 3 other times last season. As he entered Thursday's 5th start, his most against any individual team, against the Cubs at PNC Park, Skenes was carrying a 2-0 record and 2.25 ERA against the Northsiders, with the Buccos winning 3 of those 4 games, and the only loss coming from a bullpen meltdown. But this is a different Cubs offense in 2025, an offense that has 15 more runs than any other team and has been absolutely blistering the baseball. And in maybe the surest sign yet that these Cubs bats are for real, they scorched Skenes in this rubber match finale of a 3-game series. It took a few innings for the Cubs to find their form, but it arrived with a flourish in the 5th. The Cubbies were trailing 2-0, but Dansby Swanson provided some leadoff lumber.
And it was a good pitch. Hit out to right center field. Cruz back at the wall. It's gone! Another dinger for Dansby. 2nd of the series, 6th of the year.
2 outs later, it was the key offseason acquisition who has helped ignite this offense. That's Kyle Tucker.
Kyle Tucker into right center field. Reynolds back at the wall, and it is gone! The king has left the castle.
Then it was the underrated Seiya Suzuki.
Seiya out to left. Did they do it again? They most certainly did! 3rd homer of the inning for the Cubs.
3 homers in 1 game, let alone 1 inning, against Paul Skenes doesn't happen often. Actually, check that. It had never happened in any of those previous 29 starts. He didn't even finish the 5th inning, and the first place Cubs went on to finish off an 8-3 victory. At the Guardians' home opener this year, their radio voice Tom Hamilton, who is being honored by the Hall of Fame with this year's Ford C. Frick Award, introduced the club's starting lineup, and when he got to José Ramírez, he proclaimed him to be Cooperstown bound. That's a pretty bold suggestion, but it's one with increasing statistical backing. Ramirez is a 6-time All-Star and 5-time Silver Slugger who is ranked in the top 10 in the AL MVP voting in 7 of the last 8 years, with 3 finishes in the top 3. He's in his age 32 season and will almost certainly have to finish his career strong to get serious Cooperstown consideration. But on Thursday, he reached a milestone that further put his incredible career in perspective. The Guardians were trailing the Twins 3-2 in the bottom of the 10th inning at Progressive Field in a game that was delayed by rain in the 8th inning for nearly 3 hours. Ramirez led off the inning with the automatic runner at second and ripped an RBI single to tie it back up. Then he swiped second.
The pitch, there he goes. Pitch is high and wide. Throw to second, head first slide. He got it! History for José Ramírez.
With that steal, Ramirez became the only player in Cleveland franchise history with 250 homers and 250 steals, and the first third baseman in MLB history to achieve the feat. He's also just the 2nd switch hitter in the dual 250 club, joining Carlos Beltran. Last year, Ramirez finished just 1 homer shy of a 40-40 season. If he can get to 250 homers and steals at age 32, surely he can get to 300 and 300, right? As it stands, only 8 players have done that, and with the exception of Alex Rodriguez, all of them were outfielders. So there's some perspective on why some think Jose might be somewhat quietly heading toward Cooperstown. But on Thursday, all he was thinking about was heading for home. And that's what he did when teammate Angel Martinez came through with the game-winning hit.
There goes Jose for third. Base He's hit right field. Here comes Jose. Book it. The Guardians take 3 out of 4 from Minnesota. And for the 12th time since 2022, Cleveland is going to walk off the Twins in a 1-run game. Unbelievable.
The Guardians prevailed 4-3 to complete the 4-game series win over the Twins. Coming up, that sound you heard north of the border last night was the Rogers Center reaction to a superstar SWAT. That's after the break. About 3 weeks ago, the Blue Jays formally announced a mammoth 14-year, $500 million extension with franchise face Vladimir Guerrero Jr. But while that deal made a lot of noise, much of Vladdy's 2025 season has been relatively muted. He didn't go deep until his 19th game of the season, but he's begun to heat up on the homer front of late, and he had his biggest swing of the young season Thursday night. A night earlier, Guerrero's Blue Jays had trailed 6-0 entering the bottom of the 6th, but stunned the Red Sox with 7 unanswered runs. And in the series finale at Rogers Center, they broke hearts back in Boston yet again. This time it was 2-1 Red Sox in the bottom of the 8th when Vladdy came to bat against Justin Slayton with 2 aboard.
And this one hit to deep left. And gone! What an at-bat by Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Guerrero's heroics provided the go-ahead runs in the Blue Jays' 4-2 win that has them a game below 500. Good news if you were concerned that Juan Soto might never hit a home run at Citi Field over the course of his 15-year contract. He finally went deep there in the 6th inning Thursday. Then, in the 8th, he did it again.
And he flies this one well to left center field. Back in the gap goes Thomas near the wall. It's out of here! Second of the day for Juan Soto. He's broken the dam and the water's flowing through.
But bad news if you're a Mets fan, Soto's solo swats weren't enough to avoid a 4-2 loss to the D-backs. The Royals finished off a sweep of the Rays at Steinbrenner Field with an 8-2 victory, and the go-ahead 2-run homer in the 5th came from a familiar name, Bobby Witt Jr.
Jr. hits it well, deep into the right field corner. Meisner turns, gone for a 2-run home run.
That blast extended Witt's career best and current MLB leading hit streak to 22 games. The Reds beat the Cardinals 9-1 to split a 4-game set with St. Louis, and also made some news before the game, demoting former closer Alexis Diaz and calling up reliever Luis May, the hardest throwing pitcher at AAA. The right-handed May has thrown 45 pitches at least 100 miles per hour this season at Louisville, with one pitch registered at 103.5 miles per hour. The A's are getting interesting, folks. Behind 6 scoreless innings from Jeffrey Springs, they beat the Rangers 3-0. It was the A's 11th win in their last 16 games, allowing them to jump from 5th place to 3rd in the AL West. They're 2 games over 500. The Tigers are simply unstoppable right now. They trailed the Angels 4-2 late in Anaheim, but put together a 5-run 8th capped by a Dylan Dingler dinger and a 3-run 9th capped by a Spencer Torkelson torque bomb to beat the Angels 10-4 and become the first AL team to 20 wins. For the rest of Thursday's scores, you know what to do. Go to MLB.com, tell them I sent you. Lastly, here's a fun note. With 27,261 fans per game, MLB posted its highest average attendance through the end of April since 2017. You like us, you really like us. Okay, it's Friday. Woo! I'm not just celebrating, I'm telling you the Mariners pitcher for tonight's opener of a weekend set in Arlington with the AL West rival Rangers. It'll be Brian Wu opposite Rangers rookie Jack Leiter. Both of them have sub-1 whips. The Mariners have jumped out in front in the West, and the Rangers are a team they're going to have to fend off. Tune into the game at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time at MLB.tv. Woo! You can also check out the MLB.tv free game of the day when the Giants host the Rockies at 10:15 Eastern, 7:15 local. That's all for today's morning lineup. Will Leach will be back to recap the weekend for you. Until next time, thanks for listening. Please be sure to leave us a rating and review, share this episode with the baseball lovers in your life, and have a great weekend, everyone.